Hello, welcome to Linus Literature Library, reading between the lines where stories come alive. I'm briefly going to take us through chapter 13 and 14 of Redemption Road, written by the beautiful Elma. Now, chapter 13, Vanny gets a call from in my previous video. I've summed up chapter 11 and 12, so we are doing the same for 13 and 14. Now, Vanny gets a call in chapter 13 that the police or someone was from the police that he has or there is someone out there who wants him arrested. Someone is working towards getting him arrested, so he should he knows what to do. Okay, so he starts to wonder who would that be, and only one name comes in mind: Benju, Miss Louise. He should have killed this lady the first time he met, or they met each other. Why is he even doesn't know what it is that makes him so weak in front of Miss Louis, sorry. So then he kept wondering. He said, okay, no problem. I have a business to do, that's why I'm in town. Let me finish. And when I'm done, I'm going to take care of him. Then, whilst lost in his thoughts, he gets a call. His phone rings, and it is someone that we do not know, but another character called Chief. Mrs. Vanny addresses him by saying Chief. Now, Chief was worried if he could take care of the business because he has also heard that there is a woman who wants his neck on a plate. So Vanny says, boss, don't worry, or chief, don't worry, I'm going to take care of it. The woman is just something small. She's not going to interfere with the business or anything. Now, Mrs. Vanny assures the chief. Now, he quickly moves out or checks out of the hotel he's in to another. Now, on his way, he decides to finish up his business before going to the hotel or dealing with Bendu later in the day or another time. So this is where he goes to see this is where he goes to meet his business partner. We are introduced to that character as Diallo. We are introduced to that character called Diallo. Okay, so Diallo is, the book tells us that, the text tells us that he's supposed to bring in ammunition or weapons to Mrs. Vanny and his people, so that his boss, so that Mrs. Vanny in turn gives him diamonds. So after the back and forth there, but before Mrs. Vanny went into the room, this is one critical part, getting to the latter part where the writer highlights the character of Mrs. Vanny again to us. Now here, Mrs. Vanny again is presented as Mrs. Vanny instead of Commander Cobra. Here, right before he enters the office of his business partner, Diallo, Mr. Diallo, he meets these boys around. He parks his car, just goes into the office. And on his return, there was this young boy guarding the car or minding the car. So he comes in and he noticed the expression or gestures the boy was trying to do, meaning I've protected your car enough from scratches or anything, or any boy or any of us playing around with it or him or anything. So something like that. So Mrs. Vanny searched for $5 or $10 notes, but he couldn't. So he got a 20 Liberian dollar note. He hands it over to the boy, and the writer says that the boy became an instant hero in the eyes of the other children. The boy becomes an instant hero. So imagine if that same boy goes somewhere else and meets Mrs. Vanny or Commander Cobra. Imagine how he's going to see him, or how he's going to relate with him, or how he's going to receive Mrs. Vanny. Of course, warmly, greeting him and shouting, boss, 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 and all that, saluting him and all that. Because after all, he has given him not 5 or 10, but 20 Liberian dollar notes. Yes, so he has become a hero. So automatically or psychologically, Mrs. Vanny has become a hero to the boy, and he also a hero to his friends that he was playing with. That's one character again that the writer brings out about Moses Vani. Anywhere he goes, little children come up to him, or people look up to him, call him boss and all that. I'm sure this boy, in some few years to come or anything, when Moses Vani comes and says that I'm vying for a position in government, so I need vote, I'm sure he's going to be the #1 person on his campaign management list, managing his campaign, because the man is good to him. Now, quickly in chapter 14, Moses Vani goes to prepare to meet Benju, or deal with Benju, but then Benju also tries to look for him on several attempts, but to no avail. And now Kelvin visits Benju, gives her security. This time around that you've met him and he's talking to you and you've reported him to the police. Well, we don't know who he is or the caliber of person he is, but I can tell you right now that you need security. So Kelvin provides Benju with enough securities or guards to be around her compound everywhere, to guard her and all that. Now they sit to talk and dine. Now Kelvin wants to know, Benju, what happened to you? You've changed and all that. What really happened to you during the war? Now Benju let out a piece of secrets by telling Kelvin about her marriage, how Moses Vani, because he wanted to know what really Moses Vani did to her, to that she's holding it, or she's using that as a yardstick to proceed, because there are a lot of people that have done worse things during the war and they are freely walking on the streets. So why do you want to prosecute this man? For what particular reason? He said a lot of reasons. An example, he tried to, no, he didn't even try. He gave me off like a piece of artifact to another rebel called Samson to marry. So I was a wife to one of the rebels called Samson. Well, she benefited. He provided shelter. He provided protection, food. She benefited some one way or the other, but then she was no one's property to be given off like that. Okay, so Bendu also changes the topic and says, because she didn't want to go more deeper, she says, okay, Calvin, tell me, what really happened to my brother, Benji? What really happened? Tell me about him. Benji said, the only thing you have to know is your brother was someone who was very funny. That's all. Kelvin decided to leave. Benji says, okay, then let me also go and take a rest. So that's it for chapter 13 and 14. We'll head towards chapter 15 and 16, find out what happened there. After their conversation, what really happened again? Were they able to get Moses Vani? Were they able to arrest him? Was Moses Vani able to get close to Bendu again, having all these securities? We'll find that out in chapter 15, 16. Until then, bye.